Hey, thanks so much for joining me tonight. I'm so excited to be introducing a very good friend of mine, Laura Warren. Hey, Laura.
Hey, Anne.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Oh, you look great. Uh,
Thank you as
Laura,
well.
thank you. Laura is a psychic medium who I asked to come forward because we've kind of worked some various different events and things together, and we've kind of gotten to know each other over the years. And I just love her work. I just love what she stands for, and I wanted to make sure that my 11s were exposed to what it is you do. Laura's website is Heartful. I'll post it down here below, heartfulsoulhealing.com. And for those of you, after you have listened to Laura, you might be encouraged to check her out, maybe book a reading with her, because I'll tell you what, I've been doing readings with her for several years, and they're always bang on. So you guys need to check that out. But tonight, we're just introducing to you what's coming up in the Master Number 11 portal for, that would be Monday, July the 29th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So we're going to be running a program called The Psychic You, and it's going to be unleashing the guru within you. So who better to unleash the guru within us but Laura? So careful what you sign up for, eh? Anyway, first of all, I would like for you maybe to sort of give us a little bit of your background, Laura. How did you get into this, and how did you become a psychic medium, and what were some of the triumphs and some of the trials that you've gone through?
Yeah, absolutely. I joke all the time and I say, baby, I was born this way.
I love it. Lady Gaga's my spirit animal.
Yeah, I've always been really connected and intuitive. So when I was a little kid, it just started out, I just knew things about people. And I really did think everybody was like this. I didn't know I was, anything was any different about me. Until, a few kids, a few maybe bullies called me weird and strange for things that I said and did. And then I started to wonder, maybe I am a little different. But I started out just having very, I guess, premonitions and visions and dreams that started to come true. Some of them were upsetting. A lot of the things that I went through as, I say, young adult and a teen were very upsetting. And at the time, I was involved in the Catholic Church. My family was pretty involved at the time. So that was like my background and my sort of my support and backup. So when I started to reach out to members of the church, it wasn't always accepted. It wasn't handled very well, I would say. So I was told to pray and to ask God to take it away if it was a problem for me. And it really was quite scary. So for quite a few years, it was shut down. And when I got pregnant with my first child, it all came rushing back. It was just the floodgate opened, and I was told by my great grandmother that in spirit, that if I didn't learn how to manage this ability or this gift, that it would take me over. So I was in my late 20s, and I just took it on like a job. I learned how to meditate, learned what it was to connect with spirit. I understood the importance of grounding, energy clearing, those kinds of things. So I started to do things more from my feeling than from my head. And that's really where I try to focus on teaching people that your own intuition is very much present. It's very strong. Everybody has it. Everybody's psychic. Yeah. It's just how you want to use it, how you decide to tap into it, and how you kind of fit it into your life and really trust it.
Yeah, it's a big one for me. I mean, I'm a 7, so trust is always the big deal, right? Yeah. So during our event next week on Monday the 29th, we're going to be talking about allowing yourself to become that psychic, to become your own guru, so to speak. Would that be a fair assessment?
Absolutely. I really want people to know that you can take this on, and I work very hard to empower people so that they can see that they can do this in their own life. They can develop their own intuition, and it works very well. Once you understand what it is, you understand how it works, you trust it, it comes more easily to you, and then the messages get stronger and stronger, and it actually helps you avoid a lot of extra things in your life that maybe can be considered challenges or struggle.
Right. Right, exactly. And that's the whole thing. I mean, the 11s are born with a much higher frequency, a much higher vibration. And I always say that that veil that exists, you know, between here and the other side is so thin for them. But
Oh,
it's scary because they don't know quite, you know, it's like giving somebody a Maserati who's never driven before, right? They don't really know how to drive it. So I'm excited about this program that we're offering because it'll help them, I believe, to discover more about who are they, you know, what are they? So that's part of the program. We're going to be talking about what are you? Do you want to elaborate on that a little bit?
yeah. So I discovered through a lot of communication with spirit and my own meditation, and I call them sort of downloads of information that spirit gives me from time to time. And along the way, discovered what it is as to be an energy being in a physical body or a physical existence.
Yeah.
So things are at the base level, we're energy. That's how our energy, our consciousness never dies, because we are just energy kind of inhabiting this physical body for a time to learn whatever lessons we need to learn. So I know that people don't think about things this way all the time, but if even you look at the physical level, base level, we're all atoms and molecules, and what holds them together is just energy.
Right.
Our thoughts often hold things together in recognizable form, and it's not everything we think it is. We can't take things at face value. And
Right.
I think this is really important. It's really important for 11s to understand that they have all this potential. They have all this energy. They have all this ability inside of them. And it has nothing to do really with the physical body, other than we live in a physical world. We still need the physical connection.
Right.
But your own consciousness exists on its own anyway. And so it's not about always what we are seeing with our physical eyes or hearing with our physical ears. There's a lot more to this.
A lot more going on.
Yeah.
So we'll be talking about who are you?
Yeah. So I usually pose this to people in a series of questions, because I think a lot of times we think we know who we are until something happens to us that challenges all those ideas. And so I like to ask people, you know, do you feel like you've hit that sweet spot in your life? You feel you've hit the place where you want to be, and if not, what's holding you back? I
Right.
ask people too, do they feel like they're present in their experiences? Do they feel like they can really take this life on and conquer it? And what are the things that are holding them back? So this is sort of about you being very quiet and inside your own thoughts and feelings to figure out where you fit in all this. But the biggest question is, are you living, or are you just living to die? Because there's so many people that are walking around with this idea that they're just waiting for that relief I'd say, of letting go of the physical body, and they're not really living. They don't understand they're missing a whole bunch of stuff, a whole bunch of amazing things.
It always takes me back to Garth Brooks' song, Standing Outside the Fire. I don't know. Do you know that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, life is not tried, it's just merely survived if you're standing outside the fire.
Exactly.
I always think of that. I think that's an amazing lyric. Amazing to live by. We're going to be talking about your spiritual practice. You want to elaborate on that?
Yeah, so all of us, because we are spirit beings, because we are energy at our very base, at our core, we're energy, frequency, vibration. So a spiritual practice is very important because we set our own vibration. We set intention for our day, our weeks, our months, our years, and the goals we have for our life. And I think this is something that's really overlooked. A lot of people don't learn it. Just as we don't really have an emotional education, I don't feel like we have a spiritual education either. So that's my time to kind of draw people back to basics. Do you know how to ground? Do you know how to protect your aura? Do you know how to cleanse? How to meditate? Do you spend time in nature? So this is like it's kind of like my passion. It's where I end up feeling the strongest about. It's really important that we all develop some kind of spiritual practice, because what is going to help you weather all the storms in your life? Your groundedness, your plantedness in who you are. And how do you know who you are if you've never given yourself all the components, all the opportunity to be that spiritual being.
You got to know who you are if you want to have, if you want to be able to respond to what's happening around you in a positive way. When you don't know who you are and you're ungrounded, that's pretty scary.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So, and what about stepping out of the box?
This is the fun part.
Really? I love the fun part.
Yeah, it's fun, but
Yeah.
it's all fun with you and I. But yeah, no, stepping out of the box. So this is where I really ask people to trust, because a lot of the information, this was the hardest barrier for me when I started doing readings. I'm a very logical person, very scientific. I like to see the proof. I always want to see the proof. But here's the thing. If you're not willing to trust what's coming through, and even if you just take it in for a minute, write it down in a journal, put it aside, put it in the back of your head somewhere, and wait and watch and observe and be open. Things often do have a way of making sense. Things often do have a way of proving to you that it's real, that it's happening. But if you don't step out of the box and observe and allow this to happen and have an openness approaching who you are as a spiritual being, then how are you ever going to see the proof if you close it off before it even happens? So we all have to find ways to step out of the box of what we've created for ourselves in our life and who we think we are. Because I can guarantee most of us, we think we know who we are, but we don't really know.
And that is one of the biggest things that the 11s complain about, is the fact that they don't know what they're here to do. They don't feel like they belong here. They don't feel that they're good enough, and they don't live in the moment, right? They have a hard time living in the moment because they're projecting too far in the future. They're so determined to do well by this lifetime, and they have this urgency that says, time's running out, I gotta get on with this, So I have no doubt that all this great information you're gonna be sharing next week is going to help them to be a little bit more grounded and help them to tap into spirit and really have a 1-800 dial-up connection that we all look forward to.
Oh, I know we all crave it. And even for myself, sometimes, like, people think I have all the answers, and I absolutely don't. I'm just like everybody else.
Yeah.
And all you 11s out there, you don't need to feel intimidated, or you don't need to feel like anybody knows any more than you do. In my own life, I still have to learn the lessons. We all have to. But the whole point of this is to connect with your higher self or your greater self, connect with that universal intelligence that can help you make your life a little bit easier, because aren't we all looking for that?
Yes, sign me up for some of that. That'd be awesome. And speaking of that, I wanted to let everybody know that one of the lucky members this month is going to win a reading with Laura. That's a psychic medium reading with Laura. It's going to be a 1-hour reading, which you'll be able to schedule with her after we've done the program. So if you haven't already signed up for the Master Number 11 membership, you need to do that now. It's like $11 a month. If you join and you don't like it, you can cancel. There's no problem whatsoever. But it's a great place to hang out and be a part of the tribe, because I find that 11s, one of the biggest things they miss is their tribe, because they don't really feel connected to people, because people just don't get them. That's why it's very important for 11s, if they want to flourish, they've got to hang out with other 11s, right? So, and the other thing that's going to happen to me very cool next week is that during our event next week on Monday the 29th of July 2019, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, Laura's going to be doing some random readings for people. So you want to make sure you're on that call. And the only way that you can get on that call is to be a member of the membership. And you do that through going to www.masternumber11allspelledout.com. So that's it. So I'm really looking forward to it, Laura. Thanks so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Anne. I'm so excited.
I'm very pumped too. I can't wait. So we'll see you guys next week. Any questions whatsoever, you're welcome to email me, Ann@AnnPerryNumerologist.com, or message me through the website. And likewise, Laura is reachable through her website, heartfulsoulhealing.com. I'll post the link up there for you. Thanks so much, guys. Have a great night. Bye for now.